Habits. Our habits are everything. They are navigating us through this experience we call life, consciously or subconsciously. But the choices we make on a daily basis are representations of our habits. And essentially, your habits will make you or break you. But still, it is up to you to pick and hold on to the ones that serve you and let go of the ones that harm you. In our last video, we explored the ethics of money. We established that true wealth is a moral good when it represents value. But value does not generate by itself. It requires an effort and an engine. And that engine is you. You can have the hardest money in the world, Bitcoin. You can understand and be familiar with the philosophy of Stoicism. But if your biological hardware is weak, if your mind is scattered, and if your spirit is not in alignment, you will fail. The weight of sovereignty will crush you. Because to be an architect of the future, you must first become the architect of your own body and mind. You need a protocol. You need a set of non-negotiable standards that you execute regardless of how you feel. And today, we are going to look into the specific protocol, the proof of work habits, that helps to build a sovereign life. We are going to cover interconnections of the body and the mind, and how vital their well-being is to your self-mastery. This is the Mindful Gains blueprint for upgrading your human operating system. The protocol begins with the mind. The modern world is an attention extraction machine. It wants you reactive. It wants you outraged. But to resist this, we practice meditation. And this is not only about clearing your mind or relaxation. This is about metacognitive sovereignty. It is the practice of watching the thinker. When you sit in silence, you practice the understanding that you are not your thoughts. Your thoughts come and go like passing clouds into the sky. Essentially, you are just the observer of your thoughts. This is the ultimate Stoic skill, because when the market crashes, or when FUD spreads, the reactive mind screams, "Sell." Meanwhile, the meditative mind watches that scream, acknowledges it, and lets it pass. Meditation is the gym for your impulse control. It helps you to stay calm from the inside while the external world goes wild. Next, we audit the input, both mental and physical, because you are what you consume. If you eat only junk food, your body will collapse. And if you only consume cheap Fiat content, 15-second clips, outrage news, gossip, your mind rots. But the architect, on the other hand, feeds his mind on deep and educational content. He reads profound books that have stood the test of time. And he listens to long-form educational podcasts that explore nuance and complexity. This practice helps to look for signal in a world of noise. By extending your attention span through long-form learning, you are literally rewiring your brain for low-time preference. And low-time preference is the groundwork of mindful gains. But philosophy is useless if it lives in a fragile vessel. That's why the architect must be physically robust. Because without a strong and healthy body, you can't face challenges that life will ultimately throw at you. We build and practice this through two modalities, the heavy and the long. Lifting weights is the physical manifestation of Stoicism. The iron does not care about your feelings. 100 kilograms is always 100 kilograms. It forces you to confront gravity and win. Every repetition and every set are a deposit into your future self. You are building the armor that carries you through life. Running is the practice of endurance. It teaches the mind to exist in discomfort for extended periods of time. When you are in the 10th kilometer and your lungs burn, you are training the exact same neural pathways required to hold an asset through a 3-year bear market. You are learning to say no to the part of your brain that wants you to quit. This is not vanity. This is the duty to your future self. A strong body houses a strong mind. When you are physically strong and capable, you move through the world with such confidence that it cannot be faked. It is the ultimate proof of work evidence. Comfort is a slow death, because if we stay comfortable for too long, our growth stops. The modern world is temperature-controlled, soft, and sterile. To remain sharp, we must introduce voluntary hardship. We enter the forge. The sauna and the ice bath exposure. These are not easy to endure, but they are much-needed stressors for the body and the mind. The heat forces your heart to work while the cold shocks your system into survival mode. By voluntarily stepping into the freezing water, you are hacking your dopamine system. You are training and telling your brain, I control the response, not the environment. This creates anti-fragility. You become someone who endures and can thrive on shock. When the external world becomes chaotic, you stay calm because you visit chaos every week in the ice. And finally, nature and sunlight. We reject the fluorescent hum of the cubicle. We seek the sun. We put our feet on the ground. This connects our circadian rhythm to reality. It reminds us that we are biological creatures, not digital avatars. It is a daily declaration of independence from the artificial matrix. A sovereign individual is not a hermit. And sovereignty does not mean isolation. In fact, isolation is fragile. The strongest structures in nature are networks. The final pillar of the protocol is relationships. We do not engage in fiat relationships, transactional, superficial connections based on status or utility. Instead, we cultivate proof-of-work relationships, meaningful, deep connections with people who share our values. We invest time in people. We listen to others attentively. We show up consistently. Just as we hold our keys, we hold our friends close. A strong tribe is the ultimate hedge against societal collapse. If the grid goes down, if the banks fail, who will stand with you? The quality of your relationships is the quality of your true safety net. This protocol is not a checklist. It is a lifestyle. It is a rejection of the easy, the fake, and the fleeting. And it is an embracement of the hard, the real, and the eternal. When you are meditating, lifting weights, reading a book, embracing a cold plunge, and connecting with people, you are building something meaningful. One day of this protocol changes nothing, but a decade of this protocol changes everything. You are building a legacy that cannot be inflated away, confiscated, or corrupted. Be curious, stay humble, and keep learning. You are the architect. Be mindful and build well. Disclaimer. This content is for educational purposes only and is not financial or even life advice.